Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and I'm coming to you tonight with a late night garage gun talk. As I'm filming this, it is 9:45 p.m. on a Thursday. I want to talk about a couple things, something I got in the mail today from Nightcore, so I guess it's kind of like an upcoming product review. I just got done filming a very extensive range report on the Ruger P95 DC. Man, it turned into a 36-minute range report, which means probably most people aren't going to make it to the end, but there was so much to talk about when it comes to this gun, I just had to be thorough about it. I know that some people don't like my content on my main channel because I do long-form reviews. They like to have all their stuff. They want it all within 2 minutes, and it's just the nature of YouTube, you know, so I'll probably never be as big as and get the traction as the bigger channels because sometimes I'm long-winded and it takes me a while to get to my point and so forth, but I like making it. I like to be thorough. You know, I'd rather be thorough and get the good information out there to people that really want it than the people that are just looking for a quick and easy fix. But anyway, I got to clean this gun up tomorrow. I'm even going to clean up the case for Colin. It's the original Ruger case, but I think I'm actually going to do a field strip video on this because there's no field strip videos on the Ruger P95 DC. Not that it's anything really super special or anything, but it's just more content. So this is on the agenda to be cleaned tomorrow and put back in the safe and move on to the next project. I wanted to show you guys what I got in the mail today and see what you guys think. I have a number of upcoming projects when it comes to product reviews. And one of the companies that occasionally sends me stuff is Nightcore. And they're a pretty reputable company. I mean, every year they have a booth at SHOT Show and everything. And they sent me something really interesting. I don't want to unbox it because I don't want to damage the box until I film the review. But this is the Nightcore Tactical EDC Lite. This is the model EDC33. And let me tell you what's interesting about this thing. This thing claims it has 4,000 lumens. 4,000 lumens. I don't think I've ever reviewed a light that's supposed to be that bright. I'm wondering how hot this thing's going to be. It doesn't look like it's a big light or anything. I think the most lumens I've ever reviewed on any flashlight was like, I don't know, like 2,000 something? 4,000 lumens. So that's going to be a really interesting one. And they also sent me I don't know if this is a prototype or something, but let me see what it is here. It's I think it's a weapons mounted light for a pistol. So we got another charger, and oh, this is interesting. This is the Nightcore NPL25. NPL25. Look at that guy right there. And it looks very similar to another light that I reviewed recently, but I guess it's not the same. It's not the same. So this one, I guess, will go on a Glock, or I'll probably try it out on my Glock 19. Yeah, batteries on it, and that is a very bright directional light. Wow. Okay, so that's what that is. So Nightcore usually makes some pretty good stuff. I would say out of all the lights that I review on a typical basis, the Nightcore is probably the most brand name of them all. Even though I like Through Night's the best, I think Nightcore is the best. Sorry, Nightcore has the biggest brand name. Most people are aware of them. So now let's talk about some gun politics. Probably why you're here and probably what I titled the video. Oh, nice. Dropped the packaging. Hold on a second. I want to talk about the Undetectable Firearms Act. Now, some people don't even know about it, and the few people that do know about it only know about it when this law is up for renewal. So, this is a law that was passed during the Reagan administration back in 1988, one of the last things he signed in the law before he left the presidency. And it's one of these gun control laws that is very characteristic of that era, in that it was a bill that was passed out of fear and ignorance, okay? Because at that time in 1988, Glocks had really just kind of started to hit the market, and people were aware that the future of firearms was probably going to be more in the polymer world than in the metal world. And so, of course, you had all these movies and things talking about like the infamous Glock 7, of course, the fictional pistol from Die Hard 2. Wow, that was completely untraceable. in that metal detectors could not detect it. It was completely made of polymer. It was a fictional gun, but of course people believe the movies and things, and so they thought that people were going to start making guns that would not set off metal detectors. So they passed the Untraceable Firearms Act, or whatever it's called. And another thing that's very indicative of gun laws in this time is that it had a sunset provision. So like the 94 assault weapons ban, the crime bill had a 10-year sunset and had to be renewed. This is a bill that has had to have been renewed multiple times. It comes up every, 5 or 10 years. And it's due to be renewed. Okay, I guess it expires in February of 2024. And over time, they've expanded it in these renewals. Of course, it makes it illegal to have a firearm that is untraceable through a metal detector, which I don't think that people that are going to try to build a gun like that really care about the law anyway. Think about it. I mean, if you're a bad guy and you're going to try to get a firearm through security through a metal detector, I don't really think that, like, in the process of creating a gun, home building a gun like that you're going to go, oh, wait, there's an Untraceable Firearms Act, I can't build it now. You're going to break the law anyway, right? But also, from a safety standpoint, I mean, how many of you really want a gun that's completely made of polymer? Because even the guns that are, made of a lot of polymer still have to have metal components for wear and safety. Trying to contain a projectile and the explosive power of a projectile, it requires a lot of rigidity that polymer just doesn't have. But and I also tell people, like, I know that every time this thing comes up for renewal, people panic and go, oh my God, they're coming for our guns and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's a stupid bill. It's absolutely stupid. But let me ask you, is there any gun out there that you're not allowed to have because of this bill? Every time people are going to fight it. But is there any gun that can't be imported because of it? Well, no. And is there any gun that you really want or can't make? No, probably not. Okay. I can tell you that I would not want to shoot a completely polymer gun. But I don't think the law should be on the books. But I think they're going after something that is not a problem anyway. But some other things that it bans is guns that, I guess, look like other objects. And the funny thing about this is because lawmakers are so ignorant on the law already, they make something that's already illegal. So, for example, if you have a firearm or you build a firearm that looks like a cane or a pin, a pin gun, cane gun, an umbrella gun, or whatever, that is already covered under the National Firearms Act under the category of any other weapon. So anything that is a firearm that does not stereotypically or rationally look like a firearm is an AOW. And that's already illegal. So it makes it double illegal. And so that's still not going to stop somebody that's going to make a cane gun or a pin gun. It's so silly and stupid. I don't think anyone's ever been charged under these provisions. It's pretty silly. But anyway, it makes it illegal to make, possess, own, transfer, all that kind of stuff, any gun that fits these categories. And I guess what's really interesting about this is the Republican Congress has refused to take up the Democrats' language, and I guess they were going to add a amendment to a National Defense Funding Act to make this permanent and to reinstate it and so forth. And the Republicans said no. They said no. They didn't have enough votes to add the amendments because the Republicans voted it down, which is really amazing. So if this is going to be renewed, it has to be done now pretty much as a standalone provision. I mean, I guess they could add it to another amendment or something to another bill, but they knock it down here, and it had to be a standalone thing. I don't know if it's going to get renewed. I don't know. My gut says it does, and expect a lot of these, YouTubers in the future, especially in the next couple months, to talk about it a little bit. And of course, expect the people that are asking for donations and money. They're going to say, oh my God, this guy's falling. They're going to renew this. It's like, well, it's not going to do anything. This is one of those things in the world of gun control. I always kind of go, if the other side, as I say, never try to stop your enemy from making mistakes. And one of the things that we can let them make a mistake on is live in their own ignorance. So if they think that they're actually doing something by passing this, whatever. I really, because we all know, number one, it's not going to stop criminals. But number two, most likely you don't want a gun that's probably going to blow up in your hand anyway. And if you're a law-abiding citizen, you already, if you're interested in a cane gun, a pin gun, an umbrella gun, or something like that, you're just going to go through the NFA route because it's only a $5 transfer. It's not a $200 transfer. And those things are already legal to get just through that process. It's not like it's a big deal. You can make it at home too. You just got to fill out the paperwork. And so even if the Untraceable Firearms Act doesn't get renewed, all those things will still be covered under the NFA. So it really doesn't affect anything. So it's one of those things that they pass and they feel good. Oh my gosh, we did something. In actuality, you and I could look at them and go, yeah, you did something, woohoo, when actually they did absolutely nothing, right? I mean, even those 3D printed Liberator pistols, which is like all polymer, the barrel is even polymer, but the only thing metal in it I think is required is like a nail for the firing pin. But that's enough to set off a metal detector. Therefore, it's not an untraceable firearm. I mean, it's so silly. The whole thing is so silly because it was written by ignorant politicians that don't know anything about guns, based off of a movie. Like literally, it was based off of Die Hard 2 when they had that imaginary Glock 7. It's the most silly thing in the world. But already expect other gun tubers to talk about the Untraceable Firearms Act and how it's going to be up for renewal and this and that. And they're going to, once again, the sky is falling. Oh my God, they're coming for this and that. But ask yourself, is there any gun out there that you want that you can't have because of this? Like, is there like some company in, Europe that makes guns out of complete polymer that you want to, like, I mean, I sure wish they could import. Probably not. So if it gets renewed, it gets renewed. Nothing changes because I don't think it really affects anybody. Personally, I like having a little bit of metal in my guns. In fact, when it comes to some guns like the Smith & Wesson M&P series, remember the Gen 1s? One of the things that people didn't like was the front of the frame wasn't sturdy because it wasn't metal reinforced. So what did they do in the Gen 2? They added more metal in the frame to reinforce the front of it. So, I mean, we, even in the gun community, demand to have more rigid and more metal in our guns. So it doesn't really affect anything. But should it be on the books? No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't be on the books. But you're going to see panic and fear and all that kind of stuff. So my prediction is I give it a 60% chance of renewal. We have some interesting stuff going on in Congress when it comes to the Republicans. If they wouldn't let it go into this Defense Authorization Act, they might not allow it to go through in the end. I don't know. My gut says as it gets closer and closer, especially as election season comes up, you're going to see the Democrats use it as an election talking point, and they'll renew it before February. But I give that a 60% chance, but there's a 40% chance it will finally sunset. But just because it sunsets doesn't really mean you're going to see guns come on the market that you never saw before, or I doubt you're going to make a gun that you couldn't make before. And it doesn't mean it's gone away forever, because I guarantee you, because one day the Democrats will control it all again, and they're going to add it to another bill or reinstate it. So it's one of those things that it really doesn't matter. But I'm curious what your thoughts are. What do you guys think about the Untraceable Firearms Act? Do you agree with my sentiment, or do you think I got it wrong? But that's tonight's Garage Gun Talk. So that's all I wanted to talk about. And what do you guys think about a flashlight with 4,000 lumens? Is that going to be a little bit of an overkill? I'd like to know. So let's talk about the word of the day, because everyone loves the word of the day. Because I talked about the flashlight being so bright, let's use the word lumen. Lumen, or lumens. You can either use the singular or the plural. Interesting fact, by the way, before I let you go, there is one word in the English language, one word, that has two acceptable plurals. Do you know what that word is? So, every word has, singular and a plural. There's one word that has two plurals that's both acceptable. Caboose. Yes, caboose, believe it or not. It can either be cabooses or caboose. I know. It's actually found in documents and literature both ways. So it's either cabooses, or caboose. Caboose is the only word in the English language with two accepted plurals. So I guess, a little trivia there for you tonight. But the word of the day is lumen. So I know you made it to the end of this video, and let me know what you think about the Untraceable Firearms Act. So, and I'm glad you guys are here for the Garage Gun Talk, because I love just talking guns, gun politics, and whatever about guns. Guns are awesome, right? So anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for being my subscribers. Thanks for being my viewers. And thanks for being my friends. I really appreciate it. So, as always, thanks for watching.